Direct hit the harsh truth they never told you: most people will live and die average, not because they lack talent, not because they lack time, but because they never learned how to master themselves. You've been lied to, told to wait your turn, told to play it safe, told to be realistic. But what if I told you that everything you want, success, power, peace, purpose, is already within you? You don't need more motivation. You need a system for becoming unstoppable. This 6-part series is your blueprint. Inspired by the legendary Napoleon Hill, written in a raw, modern voice. This isn't for the faint of heart. This is for men who are tired of being average, tired of living on autopilot, tired of playing small. If you're ready to wake up your potential, master your mind, and walk with power, then lock in. Because once you start reading, there's no going back. Part 1 starts now. Part 1. Paint your day with purpose. Imagine this. Your life is a grand painting, and every morning when you open your eyes, God hands you a brand new brush and a blank canvas. What will you paint today? What colors will you choose? What kind of story will your actions, mindset, and habits tell? The truth is, success isn't built overnight. It's not a single dramatic moment. It's built quietly, day by day, habit by habit. The people who change their lives don't do it all at once. They do it through small, powerful decisions repeated over time. Let me tell you about a man named Sam. Sam wasn't famous. He wasn't born into wealth. He didn't have the best education. But he had something far more valuable: a decision. One ordinary morning, Sam realized he was drifting through life. Waking up, working, scrolling through his phone, complaining, going to bed. Then starting all over again. He asked himself, is this it? Is this all I was meant to do? That question changed everything. He decided, from that moment on, to take back control, starting with small habits. 10 of them, in fact. Let's walk through the first 5. These habits changed Sam's life. And if you practice them daily, they'll change yours too. Habit number 1. Set one clear goal each morning. Sam used to wake up and dive straight into emails, social media, or the news. But nothing felt meaningful. One day, he heard something that struck him like lightning. A ship without a destination is always at the mercy of the wind. That was Sam. Busy. Always moving. But going nowhere. So he started doing something different. Each morning, before the chaos of the day could grab his attention, he took one quiet moment and wrote down one clear goal. Just one. Not 5, not 10. 1. Some days it was, finish that difficult project. Other days it was, call my mom and really listen. It didn't matter how big or small it was. What mattered was clarity. When you set a clear goal, your mind knows what to aim at. You shift from reacting to the day to directing it. You start building something, instead of just surviving. Sam discovered that clarity is power. And from that day on, his days had direction. Habit number 2. Begin with gratitude. At first, Sam rolled his eyes at the idea of gratitude. Be thankful? I've got bills, problems, stress. But then he read a quote from Napoleon Hill. A positive mind finds a way. A negative mind finds an excuse. Sam realized that every morning, he was letting negativity set the tone. So he tried a new experiment. Every morning, before reaching for his phone, he listed 3 simple things he was grateful for. At first, it was basic. I woke up. I have a roof over my head. Coffee exists. But something shifted. Slowly, his focus moved away from what was missing to what was already good. This habit rewired his brain. Problems didn't disappear, but they stopped feeling so overwhelming. Gratitude didn't make life perfect, it made it powerful. Because when your heart is full, your mind is clear. Habit number 3. Read for 30 minutes a day. Sam used to think he was too busy to read. Then he heard this. You are always one idea away from a completely different life. He decided to start with 10 pages a day. It didn't matter what time, morning, lunch, or before bed. He made reading a non-negotiable. Biographies, success stories, spiritual wisdom, books on mindset. He devoured them. And his thinking changed. Books taught him things school never did: how to manage his emotions, how to communicate, how to grow wealth, how to lead. His confidence grew. His decisions became sharper. His ideas became bolder. Reading gave him mentors he'd never meet in person, men and women who had already climbed mountains and were willing to show him the way. Habit number 4. Control your inner voice. Sam realized something else. The way he spoke to himself was wrecking his confidence. When something went wrong, his mind would whisper, "I always mess this up. I'm not good enough. Why even try?" But one day, he stopped mid-thought. And he asked, "Would I say that to a friend?" Of course not. So he began to speak to himself with power and truth. "I'm learning. I've overcome before, and I will again. Every step counts." It wasn't about pretending. It was about training his mind. Over time, that inner voice became his ally, not his enemy. And here's a powerful truth. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your life. Speak wisely to yourself, because you're always listening. Habit number 5. Do something uncomfortable every day. Comfort was Sam's enemy. It kept him stuck. He used to avoid hard conversations, challenging tasks, early mornings, workouts, failure. But he came across this line from Hill. Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. So he made a new rule. Every day, do something uncomfortable. Some days that meant making a tough phone call. Other days, lifting heavier at the gym, or saying no when it was easier to say yes. And here's what he discovered. Every time he pushed into discomfort, his confidence grew. His fears shrank. He didn't become fearless. He became braver. Now, maybe you're like Sam was. Feeling like life is passing you by. Maybe you're stuck in routine, or waiting for a perfect time. But listen closely, success is not one big moment. It is a daily decision. It's found in the small, almost invisible choices you make before the world starts shouting at you. Pick up your brush. Choose your colors. Paint with intention, because the masterpiece of your life will not be painted by accident. Part 2. The 6 Habits That Forge Unstoppable Men. Let me take you back to Sam, the man we met in Part 1. He was once lost in routine. But through daily clarity, gratitude, reading, and discipline, he began to wake up with purpose. Still, he knew there was more. He sensed that to break through into greatness, he had to go deeper. This part of the journey was harder. It required discomfort. It demanded mental strength. But it also forged a version of Sam that few recognized anymore. He was stronger, sharper, unshakable. Here's what he learned. 6 more habits that took him from ordinary to unstoppable. Habit number 5. Do something uncomfortable every day. Sam realized comfort was a silent killer. It lulled him into laziness, fear, and excuses. It whispered, "Stay safe. Don't try. Wait." But one morning he made a vow. "Every single day, I will do something uncomfortable." He woke up before the sun. He ran when his legs begged him to rest. He spoke up when his voice trembled. He applied for jobs he thought were out of reach. He had hard conversations. He kept showing up, even when it hurt. Discomfort became his training ground. Each day of discomfort, Sam said, is a stone laid in the foundation of my success. The truth is this: you weren't built for ease. You were built for triumph. And triumph only comes through resistance. The world does not bow to the man who avoids pain. It bows to the one who stares fear in the face and acts anyway. Habit number 6. Master the art of focus. In a world full of noise, Sam discovered that focus was a superpower. He had tried multitasking. He juggled tabs, messages, notifications, and deadlines, and made little progress on anything that truly mattered. Then he heard this quote: "Distraction is the thief of purpose." Sam made a radical shift. He turned off his phone when he worked. He blocked out 2 hours a day for deep, uninterrupted focus. He cleared his space. He cleared his mind. He chose one important task and gave it his full attention. That's when things changed. He finished projects that had sat incomplete for months. His work got better faster. His confidence soared. You see, what you focus on, you feed. If you feed distractions, your potential dies of starvation. But if you feed purpose, discipline, and clarity, you grow unstoppable. Guard your focus like a fortune, because it's worth more than gold. Habit number 7. Practice relentless self-discipline. Sam used to believe motivation would carry him. But motivation is like a match. It flares up fast, then burns out. Discipline, though? Discipline is the fire that never dies. If you keep feeding it. He began training himself to act whether he felt like it or not. Early wake-ups. Daily workouts. Reading when tired. Working when others relaxed. Discipline, he learned, is doing what must be done even when you don't feel like it. And something powerful happened. The more he kept his promises to himself, the more he trusted himself. His confidence wasn't fake. It was forged. He didn't wait to feel ready. He acted. And in acting, he became ready. So here's the truth. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. And discipline is built by doing the hard thing over and over again until it becomes who you are. Habit number 8. Surround yourself with high-value people. One night, Sam heard this. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. It hit him hard. He looked around. Some of his friends were negative. Some were lazy. Some didn't dream. And their influence was rubbing off. So Sam made a hard decision. He changed his circle. He didn't cut people off cold. But he spent less time with those who drained him, and more with those who inspired him. He sought out mentors, joined mastermind groups, started having deeper conversations. Before long, his thinking elevated. His standards rose. He became the kind of man his future self would admire. You must understand this. Environment shapes behavior. And people shape environment. If you want to grow, surround yourself with people who are already growing. Your life will rise or fall with the company you keep. Habit number 9. Take daily action toward your dreams. Sam had dreams, just like you. But for years, they lived only in his mind. Then one day, he heard something that made him sit up straight. Dreams don't work unless you do. That's when he stopped planning and started doing. Each day, he did one small thing that moved him forward. One call. One email. One page written. One workout. One uncomfortable step. And day by day, brick by brick, his dream took form. You see, most people wait for someday. But someday never comes. The only day that matters is today. Don't underestimate small steps. A book is written 1 page at a time. A fortune is built $1 at a time. A legacy is crafted 1 decision at a time. So ask yourself, what action can you take today? Then do it. Repeat it tomorrow. And the next day. Habit number 10. Reflect and refine. Each evening, one final thing changed everything for Sam. Each night, before bed, he took 5 minutes to reflect. He asked himself, what did I do well today? Where did I slip? How can I grow tomorrow? No guilt. No shame. Just honest reflection. He learned from his mistakes. He celebrated his wins. He adjusted course daily. And that made all the difference. Self-awareness became his compass. And self-correction became his power. The man who studies himself, Sam said, never stops evolving. If you want to grow, you must reflect. Don't rush from one day to the next without looking inward. The most successful men are not perfect, but they are aware. They are students of their own behavior, and that habit, over time, leads to mastery. So now I ask you, which habit will you begin today? Will you step into discomfort? Will you sharpen your focus? Will you embrace discipline and choose better company? Will you take bold action and reflect with honesty? Because here's the truth. The man who dares to begin, even if it's messy, imperfect, or hard, is the man who rises above the rest. Your future doesn't need perfection. It needs daily courage. It needs you. Part 3. Build a life that outlives you. There came a morning when Sam paused mid-routine. The sun had barely risen. He was holding his journal, the coffee untouched beside him. For the first time in months, he didn't write a goal or a reflection. Instead, a question surfaced in his heart. What will remain after I'm gone? That question changed everything. He realized that while goals gave him direction, legacy gave him meaning. That morning, Sam stopped chasing success for its own sake and started building a life that mattered. If you want to go from success to significance, from hustle to impact, then what follows will shape you. These are the 5 inner habits of men who live with purpose and leave behind something greater than wealth. They leave behind influence. Habit number 11. Define your why. Sam had chased results, money, status, progress. But they left him hollow. Until one day he heard, "When the reason is strong, the effort becomes easy." So he took a walk alone. No phone. No podcasts. Just his thoughts. And he asked, "Why do I really want this dream? Who am I doing this for? What do I want my life to stand for?" Answers didn't come instantly, but they came. A deeper purpose began to stir. He no longer worked just for a paycheck. He worked to provide, to protect, to inspire, to grow into a man his children would admire. That's when effort turned into passion. If your goals feel heavy, it's not because you're weak, it's because your why isn't clear. Clarity gives you energy. Purpose gives you fire. Find your why, and you'll find strength you never knew you had. Habit number 12. Serve beyond yourself. For years, Sam had focused on building his own life. But the more he grew, the more he realized that real fulfillment came when he lifted others. He started mentoring a young man at his office. At first, it was just career advice. But over time, their conversations turned into life-shaping moments. For both of them, Sam began giving what he had: time, wisdom, encouragement. And in return, he felt something more valuable than applause: impact. You are not made to live only for yourself. Your greatest gift isn't what you earn, it's what you share. Whether it's guidance, kindness, time, or love, when you serve others, you rise. The greatest leaders in history were servants first. What you give away, Sam said, becomes the part of you that lives forever. Habit number 13. Speak life into others. There was a day Sam ran into an old high school teacher at the store. He stopped, shook the man's hand, and said, "You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. I've never forgotten that." The teacher's eyes welled up. "I didn't know I made that kind of difference," he said, and that's when Sam learned something powerful. Words carry weight. Most people walk through life starved for affirmation. They carry doubts, wounds, fears. One kind word can shift their day, or their direction. So Sam made it a habit to tell people he was proud of them. To compliment effort, not just outcomes. To say thank you deeply and often. To remind others of their worth. A man of influence isn't always the loudest in the room. Often, he's the one who lifts others quietly with the power of his voice. Speak life. Speak truth. Speak strength. It costs nothing, but it's worth everything. Habit number 14. Cultivate a spirit of faith. There were seasons Sam faced storms, loss, doubt, failure. Nothing he read could fix it. Nothing he planned could control it. It was during one of those dark nights that he opened a Bible his grandfather left him. Inside was a note. "When nothing makes sense, trust that God still does." Faith became Sam's anchor. He stopped trying to control everything. Instead, he learned to act boldly, but trust deeply. "Do your part," he told himself. "Then let God do his." Whether your faith lies in God, purpose, or principle, understand this: the strongest men are not those who never fall, but those who believe they'll rise. Faith gives you peace in the chaos. It gives you courage when reason says quit. It gives you vision when the road disappears. Cultivate it. Protect it. Stand on it. Because storms will come, and faith is the only ground that doesn't shake. Habit number 15. Live with urgency. Die with no regrets. Sam once heard an old man whisper at a funeral, "I thought I had more time." Those 5 words haunted him. That's when he decided to live as if every day mattered, because it does. He stopped putting off. One day, he took his wife dancing. He made peace with the brother he hadn't spoken to in years. He took the trip he'd always talked about. He said, "I love you." More often. He pursued the dream that scared him. You don't get to decide how long you'll live, But you do get to decide how well you live. Don't let the clock run out while you're still on the sidelines. Live boldly. Love deeply. Forgive quickly. Build relentlessly. Act now, because someday will always be too late. And so, my friend, these are not just habits. They are the marks of men who live with fire in their belly and purpose in their soul. Define your why. Serve others. Speak life. Hold on to faith. Live now. Legacy is not what you leave for people, Sam once said. It's what you leave in them. Let that be your goal, not just to succeed, but to matter. Not just to live, but to be remembered for how you lived. And when your time comes, may you stand with no regrets, knowing you gave all, loved well, and became the man you were born to be. Part 4. Become the man who cannot be broken. Sam stood outside a courtroom one cold December morning. His business was failing. A deal he trusted had turned against him. He was facing lawsuits, financial ruin, and public embarrassment. He had every reason to break down. But when his friend walked up and asked how he was holding up, Sam said quietly, "The storm is real. But I've made myself stronger than the storm." That day, Sam didn't just endure the fire, he walked through it. And in doing so, he proved a truth too few learn: powerful men don't avoid hardship. They master their emotions and build unshakable strength. Here are the 5 habits that turned Sam from a man under pressure to a man no pressure could break. Habit number 16. Choose response over reaction. When things went wrong in the past, Sam used to explode. Anger, fear, blame, regret. Every emotion pulled him in 100 directions. But one day, a mentor told him, "You are not your emotions. You are the man who chooses what to do with them." So Sam practiced something radical, pausing. When he felt triggered, instead of reacting, he waited, breathed, reflected, and then chose his response. That 1-second pause saved countless relationships. It helped him negotiate better, lead calmer, and live smarter. Understand this: a weak man reacts. A strong man responds. You can't always control what happens, but you can always control how you handle it. And that, right there, is the beginning of mastery. Habit number 17. Train your mind like a warrior. Sam started treating his mind like an athlete treats his body, by putting it through daily conditioning. Each morning, he fed it with books. Not social media. He trained focus by sitting in silence. He practiced gratitude until it became a reflex. He kept a journal, not for drama, but for clarity. And, slowly, his mind became sharper than pain, stronger than fear, and more focused than distraction. Discipline, he said, isn't just in your body, it's in your thoughts. A weak mind folds when life gets hard. But a trained mind? It leads when others break. Make no mistake, if you don't train your thoughts, the world will. And it will train them in fear, doubt, and noise. Guard your mind. Strengthen it daily. It is your greatest weapon. Habit number 18. Embrace the long game. Sam used to chase quick wins, faster money, faster results, faster success. But all he got was burnout and disappointment. Then he heard something that changed his outlook. Greatness is never rushed. A tree that grows fast doesn't last. A tree that lasts grows deep. From that day on, he stopped rushing the process and started respecting it. He built slowly, deliberately. He chose patience over panic. He celebrated progress, not perfection. He thought in decades, not days. Whether it was business, relationships, health, or wealth, he chose to go slow so he could go far. Understand this: the world is addicted to speed, but success belongs to those who think long. Let others rush. You build roots. Habit number 19. Use pain as fuel. When Sam hit rock bottom, he wanted to run from the pain. But an old fighter at the gym told him, "Pain's not the enemy. It's the message. It's here to teach you something." That changed everything. He stopped asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and started asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" Pain became a teacher. Rejection taught him focus. Failure taught him creativity. Loss taught him gratitude. And fear? It taught him where to grow. Sam stopped fearing the fire. He became the man who walked through it, and came out stronger. If you run from pain, it will chase you forever. But if you face it, it will shape you. Don't numb it. Don't waste it. Use it. Habit number 20. Lead yourself first. There was a time when Sam tried to lead others, his team, his family, his friends, while his own life was in chaos. Until one day, his father said quietly, "You can't lead people to places you've never been." From that day, Sam made a decision. He'd become the kind of man he'd want his son to follow, the kind of husband his wife could trust, the kind of boss others respected, the kind of friend others leaned on, the kind of soul God could use. He started with early mornings, clean eating, hard workouts, reading, reflecting, serving, forgiving. "Before I lead the world," he said, "I lead myself." Because discipline in private always shows in public. Before you ask others to trust you, make sure you can trust yourself. And so, my friend, storms are coming. That's life. But the real victory isn't in avoiding them, it's in becoming a man who can't be shaken when they hit. Master your emotions. Train your thoughts. Play the long game. Turn pain into power. Led from within. That's how you build something no failure can destroy. That's how you become a man who doesn't just win battles, he wins the war. Part 5. Live like a man on a mission. In a small town in Georgia, there was a man named Elijah. He wasn't the loudest in the room. He wasn't the richest. He didn't wear fancy clothes or drive a sports car. But when Elijah walked into a room, people straightened up. When he spoke, they listened. Because there was something different about him. A quiet fire. A focused gaze. A deep, immovable sense of purpose. One day, a younger man asked him, "How did you get like this? Calm. Powerful. Respected." Elijah smiled and said, "I decided to stop living like a man chasing comfort, and start living like a man on a mission." Let's talk about how you do that. Habit number 21. Know what you were born to build. Elijah didn't live aimlessly. He didn't wake up wondering what to do next. He had clarity. He knew his values. He knew what legacy he wanted to leave. And every decision flowed from that inner compass. "When a man knows why he's here," he said, "he stops wasting time on things that don't matter." He didn't chase every opportunity. He chose the ones that aligned with his purpose. He didn't try to please everyone. He focused on pleasing the right people. He didn't work to impress others. He worked to fulfill a vision he believed in. If you don't define your mission, someone else will define it for you. So ask yourself, what are you here to build? What do you want your name to stand for? Who do you want to become? Until you know that, you're drifting. But once you do, you become unstoppable. Habit number 22. Create relentless momentum. Elijah taught this truth to every young man who came to him. Success isn't one big leap. It's 10,000 steps, taken with discipline. He didn't wait for motivation. He relied on motion. Each day, he took small, powerful actions, a morning routine that never wavered. No excuses. Rule for physical health. 90 minutes of deep work, every single day. Prayer and reflection before decisions. That consistency created momentum. And momentum created results. And results built belief. Understand this, you don't need more motivation. You need movement. Action creates energy. Progress creates hunger. Motion breaks fear. Don't wait to feel ready. Take one step today, and let that step build the next one. Habit number 23. Keep the promises you make to yourself. When Elijah was younger, he broke promises to himself constantly. He'd say he'd wake up early, and hit snooze. He'd say he'd stop drinking, and give in again. He'd say he'd write that book, and never start. And every time, he lost a little respect for the man in the mirror, until one day, a mentor told him, "Your confidence is built by the promises you keep to yourself." That truth hit hard. So Elijah changed his approach. He stopped setting 50 goals and focused on 3. He made fewer promises, but he kept them all. Every win, no matter how small, built his self-trust. And when he finally said, "I will build this life," he believed it, because he had earned the right to. Listen, confidence isn't given. It's built. 1. Kept promise at a time. Habit number 24. Eliminate the noise. Elijah lived in a noisy world, just like you. News, notifications, opinions, criticism, comparison, distraction. But he wasn't controlled by it. He was clear. How? He limited his inputs. He chose silence over noise, solitude over constant stimulation, truth over trends. Each morning he unplugged. Each night he reflected. He asked himself, what really matters? And what's just noise? And over time, he sharpened his focus like a blade. That's why he wasn't rattled when things went wrong. That's why he wasn't distracted when others panicked. That's why he moved with peace, while others chased chaos. Clarity comes from silence. If you want power, learn to tune out the world and tune into your own soul. Habit number 25. Build a legacy, not just a lifestyle. One day, a wealthy man from the city visited Elijah's town. He had cars, clothes, and a condo on the beach. But Elijah noticed something. The man looked tired, lost, hollow. The man asked Elijah, what's the secret? I have everything, but I still feel empty. Elijah said, because you built a lifestyle, but you forgot to build a legacy. A lifestyle is about what you take. A legacy is about what you leave behind. A lifestyle is about comfort now. A legacy is about impact forever. Elijah had lived simply, but he had built a marriage filled with trust. A family built on honor. A business that uplifted people. A community that respected his name. He may not have had the most, but he left behind more than most ever will. So ask yourself, what will they say about you when you're gone? Not your car, not your watch, your impact. Live now for then. And so, my brother, the man who wins isn't always the fastest or the smartest or even the strongest. The man who wins is the one who knows why he's fighting and never stops moving forward. You were not born for ease. You were born to carry fire in your heart, purpose in your chest, conviction in your voice, and legacy in your steps. So stop drifting. Pick a mission. Keep your promises. Ignore the noise. Move forward daily. And live like a man the world cannot ignore. Because you are not here to survive. You are here to lead, build, conquer, inspire. Part 6. Rise. Every time you fall, there's a story they tell in the hills of Tennessee about a boy named Jacob, born to nothing. His father walked out. His mother worked 2 jobs. By age 15, he had seen more pain than most men see in a lifetime. One winter, Jacob entered a bare-knuckle fight to buy groceries for his sister. He lost that fight, but he stood back up, bloodied but unbroken. The town started whispering, that boy might not win every round, but he'll never stay down. And over time, that became his reputation. Not the strongest, not the fastest, but the one who always got up. And that, my friend, is what greatness is made of. Habit number 26. Understand fear, and face it anyway. Jacob wasn't fearless. That's a myth. He felt fear every time he stood in that ring. Fear of pain. Fear of failure. Fear of being humiliated. But he did it anyway. Because courage isn't the absence of fear, it's doing the hard thing in spite of it. Fear is natural. But letting it rule you, that's a choice. You fear rejection, so you don't speak up. You fear failure, so you don't start the business. You fear criticism, so you don't chase your dream. And in that silence, your potential dies. Jacob learned this. The pain of trying is temporary. The pain of regret lasts forever. So take the shot. Make the call. Stand on the stage. Do it afraid. Because every man who ever built anything of value started with shaking hands. Habit number 27. Stop seeking approval. Jacob used to beg for approval. From teachers, friends, even strangers. But no matter how hard he tried, someone always had something to say. You're too aggressive. You're not smart enough. You'll never make it. Until one day, a coach told him, stop asking sheep for permission to be a lion. From that moment on, Jacob lived differently. He didn't move to be liked. He moved to be respected. He didn't chase applause. He chased impact. He stopped living for their voice and started listening to his own. And when he did, Everything changed. Here's the truth. The more you rise, the louder the critics get. Ignore them. Outlast them. Outwork them. Let your results speak louder than their noise. Habit number 28. Turn failure into fuel. Jacob lost 11 fights before he ever won his first. But he didn't quit. He studied. He trained. He adjusted. Because he knew this. Failure isn't the end. It's feedback. The weak use failure as an excuse to stop. The strong use it as fuel to improve. That business that didn't work? It taught you. That relationship that ended? It grew you. That idea that flopped? It sharpened you. If you're not failing, you're not trying hard enough. Success isn't found on a straight road. It's built through detours, dead ends, and do-overs. And every time you fall, but get back up, you build strength no one can take from you. Habit number 29. Become your own hero. Jacob didn't wait for someone to save him. He became the man he needed. He stopped blaming his past. He stopped waiting for a mentor. He stopped hoping the world would change. Instead, he became the change. And that's what you must do. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Stop waiting for support. Stop waiting for permission. You are the one. You are the answer. You are the rescue you've been waiting for. The hero you admire? He bleeds like you. He fails like you. He just decided to rise anyway. So stand tall. Take responsibility. Walk forward. The crown isn't given, it's earned. Habit number 30. Finish like a champion. The fight that made Jacob a legend wasn't the one he dominated. It was the one he nearly lost. Beaten. Exhausted. Vision blurred. But in the final round, he whispered to himself, I didn't come this far to stop now. He stood. He swum. He conquered. That's how legends are made. Not by how you start, but how you finish. So finish your book. Finish your plan. Finish your race. Because your life will be remembered by the battles you refuse to quit. So now, my brother, listen carefully. You have everything you need. Not someday. Not next year. Right now. You don't need permission. You don't need perfection. You just need to take the next bold step. And keep going. Because your pain is not pointless, your fear is not final, and your purpose is waiting on the other side of persistence. So rise, even when you're tired, even when you're afraid, even when no one believes in you yet. Rise anyway. Because the man who keeps getting back up, he's already won. Fire. If this message fired you up, do 3 things right now. Thumbs up like the video, speech balloon, drop a comment below. Tell me what you're rising from. Bell, subscribe for more bold, purpose-driven content that helps you dominate life, not just survive it. We're building a movement of men who refuse to stay average. Join us, stand up, and never back down again.